under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call. Bill,
I'm here.
Jackie,
Jackie's here.
Deb Blakeman is here. Bob,
Here.
Brooks here. Hey,
Here.
okay, now I don't see anybody on Zoom, so Leroy, Steve, Terry Lynn.
Somebody just pulled up,
Here.
Terry Lynn just pulled up.
Steve is in Florida with a sick family.
Spot.
We still have a quorum, so I'm going to go ahead and go to approval of the minutes. Does anybody have any changes to the minutes before we make a motion?
There's a new heading on there, so we'll never have it wrong ever again. So
Okay,
just note it.
so I make a motion to approve the minutes from the March 10th,
Second.
2025. Thank you. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Okay, the approval is passed. Do we have any public comments? Chief's report.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Ms. Taylor, we got you down. Ms. Bean here. So, put a bit of things on the list here, as well. So I'll try to go through them, as concise as possible. So, last week, Chief Whaley, who couldn't be with us tonight, notified us of, his retirement. So he served, 20 years with St. John's Fire District, to get all the way up to assistant chief. Most recently of support services. He also was in an ops role and worked his way up. And I know some of our commissioners worked with him as well too, 20 years ago in 2005. So he couldn't be here tonight. We do have a drop in. If you're around on Wednesday, he'll be here Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 12. If you'd like to wish him goodbye as well too. What I won't show you, but is directly behind me is, and I'll show you after, is a gift that we got him from the district for his retirement as well too. So he couldn't be here tonight. As you know, Chief Whaley's been through a lot, most recently in his life as well too. And, you know, that is a lot as well. And he's done a great job and persevered through a lot of those things. So thank you to Chris and his service to the district. And we'll have more on that position soon as well too. But again, Wednesday, that's 10 to 12 here at headquarters. So some late refreshments.
What's his last
Will be Wednesday. Yeah. Just a lot going on in this district. So I just want to mention to my staff how proud I am of them we got a lot going on. I put a lot on their plate and they do a good job handling it. So I want to just mention that and thank them again of how they're working through that. Got a lot of changes going on right now as well. Tomorrow morning, our command staff will meet with City of Charleston. So we typically do in the spring a yearly sit-down meet over some food and just talk about the future of Johns Island in particular, and then how we work together between the city and the district. And that last couple of years has been some really, really good dialogue on how we improve response within our auto aid agreement and their future plans for fire stations and what it looks like when their new fire station comes online as well too. And then just overall general things, how we train together, how we do those things. So that's tomorrow morning. We meet for that. A couple of weeks ago, several of our members, including one of our captain, two of our firefighters, Assistant Chief Proust, they traveled to Appleton, Wisconsin for Pierce. It was a pre-construction meeting for our heavy rescue. We expect delivery on that around the first of the year, not sooner than that as well too. For our deputy fire marshal position, we have hired a new deputy fire marshal that comes to us with some experience, and that position starts on the 21st of this month as well too. Wanted to thank our commissioners signed up for our Windy Day boat ride. This sounds like they had a good time. I do plan on scheduling another day and send some dates out to you all so that we can get more commissioners out there as well. Maybe you'll have a little warmer day than our commissioners had, but I think as they found out, our boat takes the waves pretty good and keeps you pretty warm as well too. So we'll find another day for that as well. So I did want to say thank you. Make sure I get his name right. Michael Sosnowski works for Beach Patrol and also has a bunch of dealings on Kiowa. They had a fire earlier this year at their at their storage facility as well too. So before they tore the rest of it down, which was a pretty big stretch, they allowed us to come in and train for the day on that as well. And we're doing some things with video and recruitment as well too. So I want to show you, give Chief Sean here a minute. He's going to bring up a video for you to play that we made from that day as well too. So just a quick video we can use for recruitment, but wanted to give our professional standards, Chief Yunker, Chief Flanagan, them for setting that up. They're doing some really, really good work to get our members trained and have real training as well too. So also an opportunity to show people what we do a little bit as well, even though it's training. So we're going to have employee meetings in May. So the goal of those meetings is just to give some department updates. You've approved the new pay plan, so we'll meet with each person individually to discuss where they're at in that pay plan as well too, and give them all the information that our committee is meeting a couple more times in the next month or so we can iron out all the details and policy around that as well too. You may have seen recently in the news, City of Charleston's had some stations that have had some mold issues as well too. So we also had, after that story broke, we had one particular station, Station 3, for us to go look at some mold. So we, as soon as we found out, we had contractor we worked with in the past went out there and did a verified there was some mold around the ductwork and in the ductwork as well too. So they came out yesterday, Sunday, and mitigated all that. I saw the before and after pictures, and it looks almost brand new as well too. But on that point, we've got with our stations aging, not sure we've ever really had that looked at. So we're going to have all of our stations checked. They're going to give us a full report on every station of what that looks like. And then before the end of the budget year, we're going to have whatever station needs to be, have those vents cleaned and ductwork cleaned and anywhere else that there could be mold so that we can be ahead of the problem instead of behind it as well too. So also, I want to thank Jason Hanks. He's our fleet facilities manager. They are on the ball with things that are happening in our fire stations, and when there's issues, we respond to them immediately and try to mitigate whatever issue is as quick as possible. It's been a bad month. We've got several issues all over the district at facilities. We still have issues with generator at Station 2. It's nice and cold in this room, but if you go on kind of the other side of the building, it's a little bit of a sauna right now. So we've got some AC issues here again, which seem to never end, and just some general issues kind of at a lot of our stations that the price of those are adding up a little bit. It's been not a great year for us in that regards, but again, I appreciate Jason. They are on the ball. He juggles about, I don't know, 50 things going on at one time, it seems like, and he does it really well. So they are working hard on our facilities, working hard on our fleet, and I'm appreciative of his and his team's work as well too. So last few things I've got, incident statistics, I believe is in your packet. I won't go over them bit by bit. I will say though that it is picking up for us again as we head into kind of vacation season and spring break and seeing some busier roads. I think just yesterday they went to on Johns Island, a bicyclist that hit a car. Person was in full arrest. Our people were able to get a pulse back and transport the patient with a pulse. Also, there was a small structure fire on the back home of a home on Kiowa that was handled quickly last night. And then they also responded to a fatal motor vehicle collision on River Road last night. So that's kind of a day in the life of St. John's Fire District. So it's picking up right now as well too. A couple weeks ago, we responded to a dump truck versus vehicle up on the upper part of River Road and had an extensive extrication. And what I'll say is, for several of these incidents, our success depends on the decisions we make in here too. And I want to thank you for that support as well too, because we see the fruits of those efforts. as well too.
The false alarm and false calls is usually lower, but this is 45 for the month. Is there a reason why we're having more of that, or it's just because
Yeah.
volumes?
I think just volume's higher and, there's a variety of reasons why you have false alarm and false call. Sometimes it is just somebody burns something in the microwave. Sometimes it's just a glitch in the system. I hate to put it that way, but sometimes our fire alarm systems went off here before for no particular reason as well too. So we'll keep that eye on that as a trend, but generally it's you see those numbers are higher. Station 4, Station 6, which are key where we see more areas that have actual fire alarm systems and things like that
Yeah.
too. So it could just be kind of an anomaly as well too. So any other questions on the incidents? In mind? Okay. Miss Teresa, I gave her a vacation, which she was well earned as well too. So her report did not make it in here. I apologize for that, but I'll go over the highlights for that as well too. So recently we posted externally for the captain's position, which is a decision myself and our command staff don't take lightly as well too. My goal is always to promote our people as much as possible. We also, with some people moving on and some separations as well too, and not being able to also do the floater positions we've been trying. We looked at our internal policies. We've got several internal candidates, and then also we had a large pile of external candidates as well too. So we're looking for the best for those positions. We do have internal candidates testing, but we also have some upcoming retirements that we know about as well too. So we're trying to, even though we're behind a little bit, we're also trying to look ahead and fill those spots as much as possible. And then right after that, we'll roll into engineer testing and then, another hiring process for firefighters. Fortunately, that wheel keeps kind of spinning. The 2 recruits that we had in the academy, unfortunately, didn't pass their initial tests as well too. So been working with some of the other area fire chiefs for some more recruit classes and things like that. I'm hoping once Station 5 is done and we get that project completed, we can start doing our own recruit classes and start building more people in-house as well too. So we do have quite a few vacancies right now. What I hate the most is forcing people to work. I think we've got a pretty good plan to attack that as well too. And judging by the amount of applications we have coming in as well, I'm confident that we can get back to a position where we can address a lot of these vacancies with people with experience as well too. So if anybody has any other questions. Sir.
Is the new shift pattern helping with the shortage, or how is
Yeah.
that factoring into?
I'll be honest, I don't know. The 4896, I still feel like we still get pretty good feedback from that. We also, though, run into a situation where we do have to force people to work it's then either becoming a 72 or it's a couple days later and they're having to wedge in between their days off sometime to work as well too. So as a recruitment tool, I don't know. It's something we don't really.
Fairly new. So.
Yeah, we don't really track that, but it is, something that still I think a lot of the country is shifting towards as well too. We talked a little bit about the 4-shift schedule as well, and it's something for us to keep having discussions on as well, to see what's the best for our employees. I will say we had a discussion as our command staff that about the potential that we may have to change our shift start time just because of when they start this. I just lost the name of it. When they start the construction at Main in the flyover, thank you, at Main Road and Savannah Highway, that's going to be a mess. I know for us going home, but even think about that intersection at 7:30 in the morning. It's a mess because we all go through there every day as well too. And that's something we may have to consider just to get people to work on time, particularly when a lot of our people are coming from that side. And then we're telling them, hey, you need to drive out to Kiowa, which is another distance. So
It's already showing signs of getting bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those that leave here every day, I know our shift schedule, they leave in the morning, which isn't too bad, I don't think. But there's some days, I mean, I live about 8 miles from here and it takes me over an hour to get home. So, it's a thing. So. Okay. Any other questions? Anything that's going on? Again, thank you for the support.
Danielle, financial report.
Hello, happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Okay, going over the March report, our budget remaining goal is 25%, and we are experiencing savings at 29%. Our bank balances as of March 31st include our operating account at 16.8 million, our LGIP account at around 13,000, our 2022 Go Bond account at around 24,000, our 2023 Go Bond account at around 351,000, and our 2024 Go Bond account at around 16.9 million. Our March collections consisted of retiree reimbursements, and what we received from Charleston County was around 403,000 to represent the February collections, and the non-standard overtime for March was at around 100,000. And then for the month of March, our operating expenditures year to date is at 14.4 million, which includes encumbrances. Our base pay percentage is at 82%, and we are seeing an 8.96% increase in tax revenue compared to this time last year.
One thing I forgot to add as well too is we sold the former fireboat as well too. We got about $75,000 for that, which I thought was a good little haul as well too. We also sold 2 engines as well that were out of service as well. They also had engine issues and all sorts of things as well too. We didn't really get a lot for that, but we did sell the boat and everything, so that's booked as revenue as well. Thanks for a position.
Thank you. Attorney update.
Thank you. I'm delighted to report that when I was on the way to the meeting tonight, we got the final approval back from Charleston County on the lease for the new fire station over in Kiowa River. So I have, thanks to Ms. Christie, have prepared, she has prepared and I have for you packets if it's appropriate. I believe it'd be appropriate to make a motion to go into executive session at the appropriate time on the agenda. And I have these to go over with you all. It's not very different from what we've discussed in the past. Just some updates on what we negotiated back and forth with the county. But that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Any unfinished or old business to discuss? Under new business, the chief is going to go over oath of office update.
Yeah, I just want to give the commissioners, you may have seen some of this in the news as well too, but I want to give you a little bit of an update. And then Commissioner Tomei received something the other day, kind of threw me for a loop, but I'll go over a little bit of the timeline. There has been in the news, in this one more can correct me if I'm wrong, there was a state senator in our area that kind of brought up some issues about people on commissions, and it was really geared towards the library commission. Yes.
Matt
I think was the spearhead on that, but about them taking a constitutional oath of office with these constitution requirements and things like that as well too. So county council took it up. At first they said, "No, we don't really have to do this." Then they came back at a next meeting a couple of weeks later and said, "Yeah, every board is required to take this oath of office to the Constitution." So, I've been in communication with the clerk of council. They've said, "Well, hold off on that. We want to get another opinion from the state." The state attorney general put out an opinion, but then they wanted an opinion from state legislator, all this to say, Kristen said, clerk of council said, just hold on till we figure out some more information on what's going on. And her presentation to county council a couple of weeks ago, I watched, and they were actually going to make constitutional oath of office for a whole bunch of boards and commissions that report to Charleston County, but did not have us and some of the other fire districts on that sheet. But then she sent another email that said, "Well, hold on, I don't quite know yet." So we don't know. But then Commissioner Tomei received one from the state governor's office, from the attorney general, requesting you to sign an oath of office as well too. So I sent that to Kristen. I have not heard back from that on where that's at, but I don't want any of you to be put in a position where you're caught off guard that, St. John's Fire District's, on Live 5 News that we haven't taken the oath of office. The direction I've gotten from the county is just hold tight and we'll give you further guidance.
Just to clarify that I received after what had been approved by the governor. So I assumed that by signing that statement, that would satisfy my oath
Sure.
for the 4 years, but I don't know.
But nobody else has received it though, right? Just so that might be maybe a new process they have with reappointments. Yeah, at the time of appointment. So anyway, I just say that, no, I'm not quite sure what's going on either. So we'll see. So, yeah.
If you're asked for any reason by anyone external, I think it'd be perfectly appropriate to say that you are perfectly willing to take the oath of office, and we'll do so, upon all of the governing body's requests.
Yep. So that's it. So. Yep.
Okay, committee reports, building committee.
Okay, building committee, we did have a meeting last month with the architect for Station 5. That is, as I reported last month, that there are 2 monthly meetings with the architect to go over progress. So one of those, we agree, one of those meetings would be a full building committee, and the other meeting would be the chief and I and fire department. So this past meeting, as all of them are just going over in detail what the district wants in the building. How many rooms you want, open bunks, you want individual rooms, that kind of detail. So it's usually a pretty lengthy discussion of all these for Eel River, we just received a draft for the architect, a draft contract, just waiting on actually the results of the lease before we can do anything with that, because of course we can't build a building on a property that we don't have access to legally. So that's it. Just so you know, both Steve and I will be gone for the next May meeting. Not able to call in soon.
You don't want to call from the Arctic or anything?
Satellite connection is not real good.
No. Okay, Finance Committee, we did not have a meeting. Do you know if anyone know, was there a Human Resource Committee meeting?
We did not have one.
Okay. And Strategic Planning, I don't think we had a meeting. Okay, all right. Do we have any comments from the public or the firefighters? Okay, commission comments, and I'm going to go first. I was one of the lucky commissioners that got to go on the fireboat. And not only was I impressed with the equipment, but I was impressed with the crew that took us out. I know we have more than one crew. We used to have a boat, and I was so impressed, not only with the experience we had on the water, but when we came back and we went to the fuel station, there was a boat at either end, and there was this slot in the middle, and I'm thinking, how's he going to get in there? And it was Jay. He slid in there so easily. I was so impressed. I mean, I was impressed with all of them. And Captain Chris, I didn't catch all their last names, but they answered all our questions. They showed us the equipment. Bill and Ike got to play with some of the equipment. I'll let them go in more detail, but we got to drive it. I mean, it was just a fun experience. The only thing I want to caution anyone is I have little short legs, and it was kind of a challenge getting in and out of the boat. So thank God they helped me, or I'd have been face down on the dock. But I just wanted to thank the chief for, setting that up, and highly recommend that if you get a chance to go out on it, it's a great experience. And I know I stole some of your thunder, sorry.
So
Bill?
I just want to piggyback on that. Actually, I was really impressed, not only with the skills of the driver of the boat or whatever you want to call
The
it.
captain of the boat.
Yeah, captain of the boat. But I was impressed with the equipment that's on that boat
Mhm.
and the capabilities of it. I forget how many radios are on there. There must be 6 or 8 of them anyway, so all different frequencies. And what the captain explained to us was that this boat is the only one in the area that's capable of command operation at sea because of all the radios. So that was impressive. So
I was unable to attend that day, but I'll catch the next one hopefully. I'd like to thank all the personnel from Chief saying all the calls that y'all had recently. By living on the island, I have seen a lot of these guys work. They're doing a great job, Brian. I try to stay in the shadows. I don't really know who I is now, so I stay back and look. But the personnel are doing a real good job, and I'd like to thank them for the job they do.
I have nothing further to add.
Terry Lynn?
I too was scheduled to go on that boat, but due to my full-time job, I was unable to, so I'm looking forward to the next one. And all the firefighters, thank you and stay safe.
I had a conflicting doctor's appointment. If anybody knows how hard it is to get a doctor's appointment rather than try and reschedule it. But I'm looking forward to going for a boat ride, and I've heard good reports from those that went. So you guys take care, stay safe.
Ike?
Yes, I got a couple sentences I can put in here. I'd like to reiterate what you just said just now, but what impressed me that boat was able to direct that fire screen. That was one of my main subject, the strategic planning, how well that boat could operate. Also, that boat's able to maneuver itself because being inside that dark area with the fire, that was very important to me to find out how that boat would handle in that situation. The crew, right on spot. I took a hard look at them because myself being in that situation, and the crew handled me in a way that made me feel valued. They made me feel as though they were very appreciative of what the commissioners are doing. And that meant a lot to me. Also, they took the time, like they said earlier, to go over what's going on there. But what I like is that the sonar that they have can see what's going on underneath, you know, as your visual up top. In foggy weather and stuff, because I was real curious about a whole lot of stuff. And they were able to answer everything I had. So to me, that's a direct compliment from the chief, commission, administration, everybody in one, because we are only as strong as our weakest chain here. So would you please tell the crew that I really appreciate the time they took to let us know what's going on. That's our Marine 701, 701. Okay. Good job, well done. All right.
Yeah, Ike and Bill got to play with water cannon. I told them, and then we all got to drive the boat, and
Everybody drove it?
we all
I can't
drove
wait
it,
the next
yeah.
time.
And I grew up on a boat, but I never had the bucket controls, and that was really cool because you could just, and that's how he slid into the dock with those bucket controls, which are levers that you can kind of control the engines a little bit more detailed than the steering wheel. So yeah, the toys were really fun to play with, but the equipment, the radios and the sonar and the infrared, you know, just everything. And I heard they did thank us for the commissioners, what we do for them, and I appreciated that. But it was kind of cute. They said, you know, the city of Charleston, some of the other fire districts are salivating over our boat because they don't have one as nice as what we have. So
Yes.
it's like, oh, well. Okay, that's it. I appreciate everybody. Okay, I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session. We need to discuss legal advice pertaining to Kiowa River lease agreement and also the Kiowa River architect
Second.
contract. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or Staying prepared, go into executive session. Thank you.
It gets too warm. Let's turn the audio on. Go.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do first. So, I think I have to use the gavel, but basically we are back in session. And we're going to discuss new business. So the first item is to make a motion to approve the Kiowa River lease agreement with Charleston County with the contingent that they agree to a renewal component of the lease. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, aye. Any opposed? Any abstain? The ayes have it. The second motion is to approve an architect contract for the Kiowa River Fire Station. And this is contingent on the Charleston County approving the renewal component of the lease. Do I have the land lease? Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, aye. Any opposed? Any abstained? Okay, both motions have passed with a contingent that the land lease with Charleston County for Kiowa River must be added. Is there any other new business to discuss? Okay, I make a motion to adjourn the meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Okay, we are